Hello, hello on YouTube, and I am just getting Instagram up. I have to wait until it's ready to go, and then we'll be good to go. There we are. All right, going live on Instagram too. Excellent. And sending out my little message. So welcome to Coming in the Bean, and here we are. All right, we're all good to go. So let's see what today brings us. We also have some interesting adventures, and we never know what's going to come up, what's going to show up. Part of it just depends on who is here, who shows up as well now and as well as later. So, because this takes place in a timeless space. Hey, Tanya, good to see you. And Sydney, hello. Here with the rain and the happy dog. Oh, good. It's nice to have a happy dog, even if it's raining. So very good. So settling in. And I finally figured out how to set myself up so that I can see the comments on YouTube when they show up, and I don't have to go switching back and forth. So here we go. So before we start, just kind of take like a little assessment of yourself. So just feel into where you are. What's going on with you? You know, anything that comes up. And if you feel great, that's good. Excellent. And just kind of go through the layers there. It's like, well, physically. And physically, it's like, well, maybe there's something going on with a shoulder here or a knee, and maybe there's something else in another area. So just take a moment to tune into that. And yeah. And wherever you are is fine. There's none of this need to like switch to try to make ourselves better. Like if you notice something and you're like, oh, well, let me straighten this out. Stop right there. Give yourself that space to just be exactly where you are. It's not always in a good place. But when we know exactly where we are, that's when we can start moving forward. Because if we're pretending to be somewhere else, then it's sort of like being here. So at the, you know, if we look at it at a race, for example, if you, instead of being at your starting block and you want to be somewhere, you want to be like, you know, almost at the finish line, well, there you are. You're almost at the, but you need to be at the starting block. So if you don't know where you are, you're not where you should be. And so you're not going to win the race. Your race, you're not racing against anybody. You're just racing against yourself. So settling in, now that you've kind of taken a quick notice of where you're at, just settling into your environment, just feeling your body and your environment for a little bit. Noticing the environment around you, wherever you are, it doesn't matter. And if you're outside, kind of the more immediate environment. Settling in. Yeah, and somebody's looking really lost. And I see somebody just kind of turning around in circles, trying to figure out where they are. So look at your physical environment. You don't need to go anywhere else than your physical environment right now. We're not making this complicated. This isn't a trick question, you know. Noticing. If you're outside, it's like, okay, there's a tree right there. Okay, there's a bush there. There's the path over there. There's the grass right here. Literally, there's the clouds up there, you know. Noticing what's immediately around you. Maybe the clouds are a little far, but if you notice the clouds, that's fine. Notice where you are relative to all of that. And if you're, so talk about the dog, if you've got your hand on the dog, for example, notice the dog, excuse me, relative to your hand. So to start separating that out. All right. Settling in. Somebody's really not wanting to give up where they are. And that feeling lost, that is just an identity. And that's not you. And so notice that if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling disoriented or anything along those lines, scared, worried, nervous, upset, as well as happy, let's not forget about those that side too. That's fine. Just make a notice of that as you're getting oriented in your environment. So, it's interesting that so much has already come up just by asking people to be aware of themselves in their environment. And we just don't develop really good habits of being present, even when we think we have learned to be present in all our previous work. And being aware, there's ways that our minds will figure out ways around that to make you think that you are present, and then you really aren't. And we notice those little things because we think we're present. We're walking down the street, all of a sudden there's a noise right next to us, and we jump. That shows that you're not present. A little, I know that can be argued. I can feel somebody arguing with that point. So maybe a tad exaggerated, but you get the point. All right, settling into what you're sitting on. So we don't learn to be really present where we are. We get into these automatics very quickly. That's just the way the system works. Eckhart Tolle called it the pain body. And it gets into these automations. And so the automation system is there for a good reason, just to be more efficient in terms of going through life and just be quicker so that you don't have to keep learning the same thing over and over again. But the problem becomes when you're doing things automatically that you need to be aware of. As you're walking into a room, you want to be aware of your environment. As you're walking across the street, you don't want to be on automatic. And, we see enough of that with drivers, for example, who are just on automatic pilot, going to work, going exactly that route. They're not paying attention. Boom, they run the red light because they're not present. Yeah, so settling in. Notice what you're sitting on. Really come into that seat. And if you're standing, coming into what you're standing on. Sinking into noticing that. See if you can notice texture. Notice pressure. Notice your body against the object. And if it's like shoes, then notice that. But with the shoes, there's also that pressure from coming up from the earth as gravity pulls you down. And if you're sitting, it's the same thing. You're getting pulled down on gravity, by gravity. So taking a moment to become conscious and aware of that. Slowly sinking in. Yeah. And that identity of that person is kind of coming off, so that's good. It's still floating around you, but it's still, it's detached from you already. Whew. Very good. So notice temperature. So if you're sitting on a chair, notice body temperature and temperature of the object. Of course, the body temperature is going to transfer in to that object to some degree. But see if you can notice a difference with that texture, temperature. You know, how would you describe that to somebody who can't feel, for example? How does it feel? Does it feel like as hard as wood? Does it feel as hard as steel? Does it feel as, soft as cotton balls? Really paying attention to that. Yeah. And just doing that alone, there's things that have shifted off of people. Because it's about coming, when you do this kind of thing and really pay attention to what you are doing, like cutting vegetables, you're really paying attention to that knife you're holding in one hand, the way you're holding the vegetable in the other, the way this knife is going through. If you really slow down your actions and really pay attention to that feeling. That's kind of like when you're doing Qigong. You can do Qigong really quickly to get that energy flowing, but then when you slow it down and you really make those movements last 10 times longer than normal, then you start to notice more. You start to feel the energy more. You start to notice your body more. You start to feel everything more. So do that. Do it with whatever you're doing throughout your day. Take a moment, take a deep breath, settle in. It's like, okay, let's slow down and go through those motions, slowing it down. Yeah. Very good. Everybody's doing really well here. We just kind of jumped up to another level here. Oh, Astra. Oh, okay, so, I can't see. Astra, nice to see you. I thought I could see the comments on, but I couldn't. So you snuck in. Sorry, I'm like on two different windows there. I just lowered it so I could see you. Good to see you. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. So now coming into what you're sitting on or standing on, and then being aware of your body there. Now let's drop down. Feel yourself dropping down, down. Okay, now we've got the confused person again. It's really interesting because it's like I'm speaking a different language, and so you're not understanding what I'm saying. It's like you're kind of familiar with what I just said because you know the language enough, but you're also confused and you have no idea. You're not sure. It's like, okay, does that mean this or does that mean that? So just focus on what you're sitting on or your feet and stay present with that. If that's too confusing about dropping down to the core of the earth. And we're going to connect everybody into the new earth. Esther, you did pretty well. You've got a little bit of I call it interference. It's like off your body. So, and I would say it's over on your left side. Kind of almost feels like there's somebody who is just kind of standing around you energetically, if that makes sense. You seem to be holding your own pretty well though, but you can also kind of get that moved out of the way. So dropping down to core of the new earth. Yeah, there we go. And letting yourself anchor in. Don't come back up too quickly. Just stay focused on the new earth. There we go. Now it's coming back up. So good. Allowing that to just come up. So some of you know the pedestal. It's coming up through your pedestal, grounding cord, if that's what you know, or just your channel of your core central channel just coming down all the way down to the core of the earth, starting to come back up. So just focusing on your breath, being aware of that energy that's coming up. It's very different. And coming into your body. And just slowly filling up your body. Am I the confused person? No, you're not, Tanya. Do you? But if you feel like that, then just notice that, you know, but you're not the one who's really showing up confused. So allowing your body to just fill up. Going slowly today because there's no need to rush to anything. Yeah, the whole space is also filling up with this, so that's shifting the space up. Very nicely. And just allow yourself to come into this space more deeply by coming into yourself and feeling your body and being present in your body. Very nice shift that's going on. So we're going slow pace here, like I said earlier with the Qigong. When you slow down, then you can really start to pay attention. Once in a while, it's good to do that, to change it up, you know, for you. Or if you're used to going slow all the time, then go quickly. Just to have a different angle. You know, when we get, so it gets back to what I said earlier about habits. When we get into a habit, we get into automatics and we lose a lot of, we can just be going, we lose details that we could be paying attention to that might be useful. So let's switch it up. It's also good for your brain. Good for building up those neural networks and all of that stuff so that your brain is more active and present and aware. Yeah. So, yeah, and we're just moving to that expanded space, and expanded state too. And we still have that same sad person, better, much better than before, but there's that piece about holding on to that sadness, that fear, that anxiety. It sometimes it's really hard to let go of those things because we're so used to that. And if it's something that you had when you were growing up, it's going to be harder to let go of because it's been kind of like a security blanket to have that, even though I'm not saying it was fun, it was enjoyable, but it just is something that we got used to holding on to for security. It's like, this is familiar. I know this is going to happen. And if this doesn't happen, then I don't know what's going to happen. And because you might have been feeling good, but then there's always been in the background that little thing of like that little, you know, something could come up, especially if you got hit out of nowhere with stuff that threw you off and threw you out of your joy, your whatever you were doing. Your system is back there checking on that. And so there's always a little bit of that kind of walking on eggs. So do your best. Say, okay, I can just relax into feeling your body more. Slowly, yeah. Astra, so I'm still looking at this thing that's kind of hanging on your side. It kind of feels like masculine to me, and it brings to mind like partner. So somebody who's either kind of worried about you or is watching over you or wants to connect with you, and you're just like holding your space. Does that make sense to you, Astra? And you're holding your space really well, but it's sort of like that never kind of goes away. I have to leave soon. Pretty sure I'm a confused person. No, you're not. We'll be coming back to this later, but come back to it because we all have those pieces of confusion in some areas of ourselves. So that's fine. Yeah, but you're not showing up that confused. I think it's somebody who might be new on the call here. Yeah, there we go. Just relaxing into that. So when we kind of say, oh gosh, I'm confused, I'm having a hard time there, even just saying that to ourselves will just kind of like let ourselves melt into just a deeper state because we're letting go of a certain amount of holding around an identity, a way of being, of something that all of a sudden it's like, okay, yes, I am feeling that. And just kind of dropping in more deeply. Yeah. So again, allowing yourself to just be in your breath, be in your body, be aware of yourself and your environment. Allowing all of that to just smooth out, open up. And allowing just by being present with it. And again, just saying, okay, yeah, I am feeling this right now. I don't like it, but I am, yeah, I get that. I see that. I'm here, yes. And Paris, hi, welcome. You're the one who's confused. Or confused might not be the right word, but anyways, you're in a better place now from when we started. Okay. So part of the difficulty of letting go of things that we need to let go of is because a lot of times it's a superficial layer that's keeping something else at bay. And so when we kind of let that shift out, then there's this deeper piece that starts coming to the surface. So notice that, even if it's just you have a hint of like, oh God, okay, yeah, there's something there. Just breathe into that. You don't have to go diving in. In fact, I don't recommend going diving into it because what will most likely happen is it's sort of like bungee jumping. You go diving deep into that and then you go springing back up. It's like, holy shit, because your system is not ready to go in more deeply. And so you go diving in, in whatever way, and then it's freaking out the whole system because it's not ready to hold that, to be able to do that. And you go, boom, no, let me get out of here. And so you pull back even further back than where you started from. So it's okay to just notice that there's something else there that's just below the surface, even if you can't identify it. And just be there, just present, just saying, okay, yeah, I can see that. And just be present. Very good. That was another layer of letting go. Very nice. And every layer will move you through that way. There's no need to rush. Only at the human level are we rushing. And the more we try to rush to get to some place that we think we need to be, that we have in our minds about where we are supposed to be, where we are wanting to be, et cetera, you know, the more we try to rush in that direction, the more existence is going to go, nope, not until you are in the right place for that. Not until you've got that inner alignment for yourself deep enough to be able to go to that place. And on the path of getting there, you will get checked over and over and over again. It's like, oh, nope, sorry, nope, are you going too fast? Nope, and puts the brakes back onto you. So we got to be really careful about trying to move faster than we are able to. We'd like to think that we can move faster, and we like to think that it's like, it's about to happen. Okay. I'll tell you, I've been at least 12 years now with it's about to happen with what's happening now in existence for 12 years. So for in the universe, 12 years, hell, that's like nothing. Human life, that's a hell of a long time to wait. So don't try to rush. Don't try to push. Be present. Come into the moment. Come into the here and now over and over and over again. And that will take you faster than anything else will. Because when you really align with that present moment, and I'll get in a minute to what that means exactly. It's you come into that still point in existence. And everything stops moving. And that's when you're there. You're exactly where you need to be. And that's where everything opens up. The catch is always maintaining that afterwards, because we are in physical form, and that is the challenge for us. So what does that mean to be in alignment with ourselves, fully in alignment? It means, for one, that nothing else is within you except you. That seems like an oxymoron. That seems like really obvious. But the more we come into our bodies, the more you can become aware of what you've held on inside of yourself that is not you. Any pain in your body is where you are not. Where your awareness, you meaning your awareness, your purest essence is not in there, coming through your physical form. End of story. It's that simple. So we keep working at it, but that always can change because there's always deeper layers to go through that. All right, let's take another nice deep breath in, feeling that coming up from the core of the earth, opening up. Yeah. And just feeling the space that we are in right now, that you're in. So there's your physical environment. So notice your physical environment. And see if at the same time that you notice your physical environment, there's this underlying vibration that's there. That's not holding the whole space together here. It's very quiet. Lower back. I have pain in my back. Is this why? It's any kind of pain is like where you're not. Any illness is where you're not. That's kind of the very basically that's the bottom line. Yeah. So put your awareness on your lower back and see where that takes you, or see what it releases out of you. Yeah. So noticing there's that physical environment, and then there's this quality to the space around you. Quality, so people might go, what the hell does that mean? Okay. Give you two examples that'll make it really obvious. We know these things, but we don't think about it until it gets pointed out to us. So kind of just imagine yourself in a bar during a football game or something, and what that feels like. There's a certain quality to the atmosphere there, right? All right, step out of that. Take a deep breath in, come back to where you are now. Now imagine yourself in a quiet cathedral. Maybe there's singing in the background, maybe just a quiet cathedral. There's totally different environment. There's a different vibration in that space than in the bar. Okay, so you know that people, we're all aware of that, but we kind of just don't put two and two together often. So right now, notice your physical environment, and it doesn't matter where you are. Or let me rephrase that. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. You could have a lot of activity around you. And then below that, there's a vibration that's there right now. It's almost like a hum. So if you can kind of pick up the hearing, almost feels like a hum. Yeah. And just let yourself just feel that. Just sit with this for a minute. Even as you're aware of your physical environment. So you might have like soft, kind of softer eyes. You're not staring a very fixed point. Letting yourself feel that, letting yourself come into that more, that awareness more, even as you're looking at the chair or the table or the wall. It's like you're looking, but you're paying attention with your peripheral awareness. Yeah. Something lost. Yes. So there's the feeling of reconnecting with something that has felt lost. Let yourself connect with that. Let yourself feel that. Yeah. Let yourself reconnect. This is a deep moment when you get into that place of, and right now for somebody it's like it feels, oh my God, I've missed this. I haven't felt this in so long. So let yourself feel that. Yeah. And even if it's not this lifetime, it's in your soul memory of what existence is about at the depth. Not the surface, going into the depth of who we are. and what we are. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, and Sydney, if you come back, may come back later to this. I mean, you're still present here, so I just want to say that for when you come and listen to it. So she had to leave, but she's still connected in. So that's at spirit level. Spirit, it's different than at. And letting yourself be held by existence right now, the deep brilliance of existence. That's what we're bathing in. That's what we're immersed in right now. Very nice. Staying connected with your body, staying connected with your physical space. So if your eyes are closed, it's by being aware of what you are sitting on or standing on. When we're the whole space is also shifting into a higher space also. So taking everybody up a notch. Yeah. A lot more love coming into the system, just flowing in through pure source love, however you wanted to label it. So coming in, just being in that state, coming into being, coming into that state of being. Being with your breath, being with your physical body and letting yourself rest into that being. Everything will get taken care of in the way it needs you to get you moving to a higher state of being. It might not be the way you want to go, human mind. It might not be the way you think is the best, human mind. It might bring up a lot of turmoil, a lot of emotional stuff that just comes out because it needs to come out. You will get what you need. It might not be what you want, human identity, but it will be what you need. The end run of existence is to come into a higher state of expression, pure state, and always moving in that direction. For each individual, each person individually, for that themselves. Some people might take longer in one lifetime. Somebody might just jump through 5 lifetimes in once. Everybody's got a different way of getting through this, moving through it all. So don't judge yourself, because judgment usually comes from that external piece that's saying we need to be in some place, we need to be in some state, we need to be doing X, we need to be doing Z, whatever. But do notice if you are throwing yourself off, if you're coming into that deeper state of purity. There's a lot of ways we throw ourselves off. Beliefs, paradigms, way of doing things, telling ourselves certain things, giving ourselves certain reasons for doing something. Elegant D, hello, my goodness, good to see you. It's been a while. I hope you're doing brilliantly. Kind of catching us at the end, but we're in a really good space, so. So allowing yourself right now, again, coming back to just allowing yourself to be in this space, in this lovely space that we've moved into. There's a lot of abundance in this space. Breathing that in for yourself. Relaxing even more into this. So if you notice tight muscles, just like, okay, we can just for right now, literally say that, just for this moment, let's relax a little bit more. We can always come back to being tight again after this, but just for right now, let's just kind of chill a little bit more. Because there's just a lovely feeling here. That's the best words I can use. very full, very abundant, very lush, very pure. So when we allow ourselves to come into these spaces, so like today, and there's been other sessions that we've done, you know, it's like taking a Epsom salt bath or going in the hot tub where you just, everything just kind of oozes out, just out of you, you know, gives you a nice kind of deep cleansing at that non-physical level. Mm. Coming into your chest, your heart space, into your breath, being aware of that space for yourself. Taking a deep breath in and holding it at the top for count about 5. And then taking a little bit more of a breath. Yep. And then exhaling out. Yeah, very good. Yeah. Just kind of anchoring, putting a little anchor point in there for everybody. Light and well-being and just of this space. So it's kind of anchored into your heart there. Yeah, very nice. Very good, everybody. So feel into your body, feel into yourself. Becoming aware of your body and your environment. And if you've had your eyes open this whole time, kind of bringing the focus into your body more. And if you need to touch your body, you know, like your face or your arms, your shoulders, your ribs, your hips, your knees, what, you know, do that just to make that more tangible for you. And notice where you're at right now. And don't get caught up in it's like, well, blah, 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 blah. Okay, there's somebody who's going there. Just get out of your head. Get out of your mind. Feel your body. Feel your being. Yeah, a lot of just turmoil there. So it's like you get into this good space, and then it's like you don't trust that it's going to last, and so that pulls you into your head, and then it kicks you out of it. So work in progress. Just notice when that trust doesn't come up. That's one of those pieces that take a while to get through. You have to just kind of push through little by little. Come back. It's like, no, wait, okay, let's put that aside for a minute. Right now, we'll come back to it later. Let me feel this again. You didn't learn to trust yourself when you were a kid. And there's a lot of fear. there that's keeping you from that. So we all go through that, some shape or form. And a session can help you get there, but you also have to have the experience of that and going back there. And you have to have the experience of you as you are today, saying, okay, I'm going to trust myself. Even if it feels like I'm ending up in the wrong place, I'm just going to trust myself. And what you're in essence saying, I will trust my spirit. You're saying to your spirit, to your higher self, to your soul, spirit, however you want to term it, your essence. Okay, I'll trust you. I'll do my best, and I'll just do my best to trust you. Because ultimately, that's the part of you that's got the reins. So, little by little, notice when you don't trust, notice where that's coming from. Shift that programming for yourself. This is what we all need to do for ourselves, regardless of how many practitioners we do, how many coming into being sessions you come to. I mean, I just do this space so that you can reinforce what you need to for yourself, because it's always nice to have that space to come to every once in a while, whenever you need it, every week, if that's what you want to do, or whatever. But you have to come there, you have to be there for yourself. Ultimately, that's something that nobody can do for you. You've got to love yourself, because nobody can do that for you. Okay. Good job, everybody. Really good space. Very nice place that we've gone to. So enjoy that. I'm just going to flash on my little QR code for donation for whoever is inclined to donate. It's not obligatory, not asked for, but just if you get that little nudge, then there it is for you. And on Instagram, it also shows up on Instagram now. So anyways, showing up on Instagram, also follow the link in the bio. Elegant D, it's so good. It's so nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Boy, it's been such a long time. You were popping into my mind not too long ago. So I hope you're designing incredible clothes still, or continuing. And so everybody, good show. Thank you for your participation today and being here. And we're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central European Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And thank you so much, Tanya. Yeah, thanks for the little heart. Thank you. And thank you for showing up and being here and being part of this too. Everybody, all of you, thank you for being a part of this. So take care, and we'll see you wherever next we connect, next Wednesday or wherever else in the ethers. All right, take care, everybody.